Welcome to Brain Booster. Ever wonder how tall the highest peak is? Well, let me take you on a journey to the roof of the world, Mount Everest. Towering over the Earth, it reaches an awe-inspiring height of 29,029 feet. Yes, you heard that right, almost 5.5 miles straight up into the sky. Now you may ask, who was the first to recognize this giant among mountains? Well, back in 1841, an obscure peak in the heart of the Himalayas caught the attention of a British survey team. This team was led by a man named Sir George Everest. Little did he know that his name would forever be associated with the world's highest peak. You see, it was Sir George's team that first recognized this mountain as the tallest on Earth. They meticulously measured its height using the most advanced tools of their time, and their findings were undeniable. The mountain they had discovered was indeed the highest point on our planet. Fast forward to 1865, a decision was made to honor Sir George Everest. The highest mountain in the world was officially named after him. And so, the peak previously known as Peak 15th became Mount Everest. So there you have it, Mount Everest stands tall at a staggering 29,029 feet. A testament to nature's grandeur and the adventurous spirit of humankind that dares to scale its heights. So, where exactly does this titan of a mountain reside, you may ask? Well, Mount Everest, the highest peak in the world, stands tall on the border of two countries, China and Nepal. This majestic mountain doesn't play favorites. Its summit straddles two nations with Nepal to the south and Tibet, a region in China, to the north. Now, if you're picturing a simple line drawn in the snow to mark the border, think again. The boundary is not so straightforward due to the mountain's massive size and the complex geopolitics of the region. Mount Everest is not just a geographical marvel, but also an emblem of unity, bringing together the peoples of two nations, and indeed, climbers from around the world. It's a testament to the fact that nature's wonders know no boundaries. Straddling the border of two countries, Mount Everest truly is a global landmark. When is the best time to conquer this gigantic peak, you ask? Well, the answer lies in understanding the unique weather patterns of Mount Everest. For most of the year, the summit is engulfed by the jet stream, where high winds and extreme sub-zero temperatures make climbing near impossible. However, there are brief periods, usually in May and September, when the winds die down, creating what climbers call a summit window. These are the safest conditions for them to attempt reaching the summit. The choice of these months also helps evade the harsh winter snows and summer monsoon rains. Now let's talk about the journey. Climbing Mount Everest isn't a weekend getaway. It's a commitment of around 3 months. Yes, you heard it right, 3 whole months. The journey begins with a round-trip trek to and from Everest Base Camp, which alone takes about 19 days. The base camp is not just the starting point of the climb, but also a crucial area for acclimatization, where climbers spend time adapting to the high-altitude environment. Once at the base camp, the actual ascent begins. The average time to reach the peak from here is about 40 days. That's 40 days of battling intense cold, thinning air, and treacherous terrains. And remember, reaching the summit is only half the journey. You still have to make your way back down. There are various rudimentary camps at different elevations which act as depots or stations for climbers during ascents and descents. These camps are not just places to rest, but are also crucial for acclimatization and for stocking up on supplies and equipment. The journey to the top of Mount Everest is as much about endurance and determination as it is about physical strength. It's a test of willpower, a journey that pushes you to the edge and then some more. So if you have a few months to spare and a spirit for adventure, you know when to book your flight. Who were the first to reach this icy pinnacle? The answer lies in the annals of history, dating back to 1953. A British expedition, led by Colonel John Hunt, embarked on a daring journey to conquer the world's highest peak, Mount Everest. This expedition marked a new chapter in mountaineering, as two audacious climbers emerged from the group, setting their sights on the summit. From New Zealand, we had Edmund Hillary, a beekeeper turned mountaineer, whose tenacity knew no bounds. Alongside him was Tenzing Norgay, a Sherpa from Nepal, whose knowledge of the terrain made him an indispensable part of the team. Together, they made a formidable pair. Their ascent was fraught with challenges, but their indomitable spirit carried them through. On May 29, 1953, they etched their names into history as they stood triumphantly on the summit of Mount Everest. They were the first to conquer the icy pinnacle, the first to stand on top of the world. Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, the first to stand on top of the world. Climbing Everest is not all glory. It comes with its own set of risks and costs. The mountain, in all its majesty, doesn't give in easily. It demands grit, determination, and an acceptance of the inherent dangers that come with such an endeavor. Physical tolls can be severe, with climbers often experiencing fatigue, nausea, and more serious conditions like hypothermia and frostbite. The body is pushed to its absolute limits as it fights thinning air, biting cold, and the constant threat of avalanches. The psychological impacts are equally daunting. The isolation, the mental exhaustion, the constant fear and adrenaline, it can all lead to psychological distress. Some climbers return with deep-seated trauma, having faced their mortality square in the face. And let's not forget the stark reality of the Everest death toll. Approximately 2% of climbers have lost their lives on the mountain, many of their bodies still lying frozen on its slopes. A chilling reminder of the mountain's unforgiving nature. The financial cost can also be staggering. Hiring a professional guide, a necessity for most climbers, can cost well over $75,000. Add to that the cost of gear, permits, and travel, and the total cost of climbing Everest can easily run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, is the view from the top worth the risks and costs? Only those who have been there can tell. Don't forget to like and subscribe.